It's Friday, which means it's another episode of People Like You. My name is Emmanuel Osasera, your online personal trainer and wellness coach, and today I met with a very special guest, Mr. Eric Carroll. So me and Eric, we played basketball back in the day and just hung out. He's my good friend from the church. And he's into fitness and just really taking off from what I see from his Instagram. And so, without further ado, Eric, go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's going on? Yeah, I'm Eric, and appreciate the introduction.
For sure.
Yeah, me and we go way back, hooping at church. And then once I saw you got this podcast put together, it was something that I thought was just so awesome. So I appreciate you just reaching out to me and having me be a part of it, dude. It's kind of an honor, man.
Like I said, dude, when I see you and your brother Sean posting pics online, and this is just super dope. Like, yeah, I gotta get them on. So where did it start, or how long have you been working out consistently? Kind of take us through where it started.
So consistently, yeah. I would say probably the last year. But I've had a gym membership for 10 years, and I was just always up and down with my regimen. I would be super dedicated, and then winter would hit and I would just get lazy and get the winter coat.
Yeah.
But dude, honestly, this past December or November, I just had a lot going on. I just took a lot to prayer, and one of prayer of mine was just I wanted to get, it wasn't really prayer, just more of a confession. I said I wanted to get in great shape. Like, I just want to get in incredible shape.
Yeah.
So I'm still a long way from where I want to be, but I think I'm definitely making the steps to get there for sure.
Yeah.
But I was living in Los Angeles about 2 years ago, and I was just in this dark place, depression, dude, anxiety. I was spending more money than I was saving, so I was dipping into my savings, and I was working at a job that I was just kind of burnt out on, and so just things were piling on, dude. And I don't know, it was just, I felt like the only thing that I could change, that I had control over, was the way I looked, like my appearance.
Right.
Like, I could control right away what I put in my body.
Right.
I can control right away the exercise that I do. And so I think just me having control over something at that time was like the motivation and like the driving factor, I guess you could say.
That's a good point, because so many things in life, like, we have control over so little things, and I'm also one to, like, whatever I can have control of, like the way I spend my time working out, like you said, I always try to take advantage of those things. And so you mentioned one of the things you can control is your appearance. How does that make you feel, like, also, like, intrinsically as well, like emotionally, with the depression, all the stuff that you were going through at the time?
Well, I mean, that's what's crazy. I think when people, like, want to work out, I think it triggers from something. Like, there's something that happens in your life that makes you want to just get better and get more healthy, I guess you could say. And dude, once you start seeing, like, a little bit of results, it's just gas on the fire, dude. And for me, like, when I started seeing results, it just made me want to work harder, you know? And
start getting compliments.
Yeah, exactly. Once other people start noticing, that's when it's like, okay, I'm doing something right. And I don't know, it was on just a ripple effect. You know, once I started feeling better about myself, I started feeling better about, you know, just the decisions I was making. And you know, once I started, it might just be a confidence thing. Once you're a little bit more confident in yourself and your appearance, you're able to have confidence in just making life decisions. And so a big decision of mine was to move back to Bakersfield.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that stemmed from just working out, but I think, you know, things happen in life, and I made a decision to move back to Bakersfield. I was going to become a teacher, and you know, I teach special education right now, and there's just a lot going well in my life.
Yeah,
and, you know, fitness has just always been involved, and so just I think if people just understand that they're able to control something instantly today, you know, they're able to control their health. And that's something that can start today.
Yeah, you got a positive energy about you, dude. It's kind of like refreshing. That's cool. So, like, are you able, working with special education, are you able to incorporate any physical aspects as well, as far as physical activities, any way that you're able to?
So we do have a program at the school where people who are, like, wheelchair, they're handicapped, you're able to get them up out of their chair, get them moving. It's the MOVE program. I'm not involved with that. So I don't do any like physical, like I don't do PE with the kids. So I teach science and I do a vocational study. So I give them like life skills.
Right.
But I mean they understand. They ask me to go to the gym all the time. The kids always want to see me in the gym. So maybe one of these days we can.
Kids get excited when they have like an instructor like with muscles and stuff. That's what I noticed.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool. They think I'm Superman, so it's flattering. But yeah, it'd be cool to get them involved somehow, and get them in some sort of just fitness regimen.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, for sure. And I want to go back to what you said at the beginning as far as like the consistency. So you said, because I know you haven't just recently worked out for the first time, but this is like recently where you've been consistent with it. So kind of take us through that process of some of the changes that you made. I know that you said there were some things that inspired you to do so. What are some other things that kind of changed along the way to kind of keep you going this time?
Well, one thing is just over time, like me being so up and down, up and down, up and down, I know that if I ever come to a place where I'm down in my routine, I'm just going to get back to where I was. So I guess that experience has helped me, and so I just have like the mentality, like, I don't ever want to stop working out or being active because I know where I'll end up,
Right.
I know I'll eat cheeseburgers and I won't feel guilty about it, and I'll just keep eating,
Right.
So I think, I'm so busy right now I'm going to school too, so I'm working, going to school, I have another job serving, so I have 2 jobs, and I still make it a priority to get in the gym,
Nice.
at least 5-6 days a week.
Yeah.
So, just, I guess another change is just, being open and to saying no to some things,
Yeah.
I used to really suffer from FOMO, fear of missing out.
Yeah,
So,
dude, talk about that.
It's like someone, like my buddies say they want to go out on a Friday or go see a movie or something, go out to dinner. It's like sometimes I got to say no because I still want to be able to get in the gym.
Right.
So those kinds of changes, I think.
Yeah, I think people need to hear that as well too, because there's only so many hours in the day. But when you think about, I was just thinking about it earlier today, like 24 hours is a lot of time to do something with your productive, right? And so when we go through these cycles where we're wasting a lot of time, where we're hanging out with friends or doing other things to compromise some of the things that are more important to us, then you kind of get into that cycle, like you said, and everything. And then one thing I wrote about in one of my blog posts is that we make time for what's important to us, right? And so going back to how many hours are in a day, you can only do so many things, and so it's like, okay, fear of missing out, like you said, do I want to hang out or should I stay on my workout consistency? Mm-hmm. So just kind of prioritizing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've made that a priority.
Yeah.
And I know that there'll be other opportunities. It's okay to say no to some friends, and you catch them another time. So I just know that you say no once, it's going to be easier to say no to going to the gym twice,
right.
3 times.
Right.
So I don't know. I just kind of have like that mentality that I don't really want to stop because
right.
I don't want to go backwards. I want to keep moving forward.
Yeah, and not that you can't hang out and have a good time or have a drink, whatever you want to do. It's just kind of like, what's your routine? What's your regular routine? So talk about your community, your environment. You have a twin brother, your friends. How do they kind of help you to stay on track, or like the people that motivate you that are doing the same things? How important is it to have that support group?
I think it's crucial. Even if you have only one friend to go to the gym with, like you need that accountability. I was born with an accountability partner, my brother.
Yeah.
And the big thing with us two is we like to compete. So if he's going to the gym, I'm not gonna miss going to the gym. Because I think he's gonna get better, dude. So we have another roommate that we live with who goes to the gym with us all the time, and he's really, really consistent. So us 3 together, we prioritize our diet, prioritize our workouts, and we're able to do it together and hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
But I think me and my brother, just the competition is such a driving factor.
Man,
in both
big
of us.
time.
And he'd say the same thing.
Yeah,
I know he would.
big
So.
time. Talk about your diet plan and how that's kind of helped along the way too, because working out is one part of it, right? But as far as feeling better on the inside and even looking better too, their diet plays a huge part. And so kind of talk about that, where you're at.
Yeah, and people have heard the expression like abs are made in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And it was something that I never I just kind of brushed under the rug. But I swear, it's, if you put yourself on a good disciplined diet, for me it's just really high protein, low carb. That just is, I feel, works best for me.
Yeah.
And you start seeing results a lot faster. It's, I don't know, I go out and I'll buy chicken, fish, and a steak occasionally. I try to limit my red meat.
Yeah.
So I'll do fish or chicken primarily for my protein, and I'll do stewed vegetables with it.
Yeah.
And put a little hot sauce on the top, and
there you go.
I'm it's probably the most easy to please when it comes to food.
Yeah.
I'm not big. I mean, taste is important, but if something's bland, I'm a pretty bland cook. I could still put it down, no problem,
Yeah, yeah.
So
same here.
It makes me appreciate a good meal when I get one, but as far as like, I wouldn't say I'm emerald in the kitchen,
No, that's all good, and I mean I'm glad you bring that up too, because like for me, it's like, I cook enough to like be able to be consistent with it. I'm not like a chef, or like using special spices and stuff. I think I can if I apply myself to it. But just the consistency factor of it, like I'm sure you cook a lot more now than what you did before, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so just being able to kind of get by with what you eat regularly and stuff. So what are some of your goals that you're working towards? You said that you're not where you want to be. Where's the goal line?
So I mean, I'm really hard on myself, and I'm really picky, and so there's still areas that I see that I want to improve on. I want to improve my abs, of course. I hate doing abs, but they're the muscles that I feel like are most appealing.
Right.
So I want to work on those a little bit more, get my cardio game up. So once it starts cooling off a little bit, I think I'm going to try to get involved in playing some basketball at the rec center that I go to, and with maybe some people from church, bring it back. But just keep the diet still just on point too. It is a goal I still have. I pretty much I'll make food for myself at night, and I'll cook like an extra meal to bring to lunch the following morning. So I mean, just staying disciplined really is where it's at.
And it's cool too that you bring up the recreational aspect of it as well too. Like when it's hot, there's only so much that you can do, but I think it's always cool when somebody can mix what they do in the gym with working out regular, or doing like regular activities like biking or swimming or basketball, like you said, and stuff. So that definitely goes a long way. That's dope. So what are some of the type of you're a bodybuilder, right?
I mean,
or a CrossFitter.
I mean, I don't do CrossFit.
Because I see the CrossFit shirt right there. So.
I mean, I've never done a CrossFit workout ever. So I respect CrossFit. Like I'll watch CrossFit documentaries on Netflix, and it'll get me fired up. But I've never been to a CrossFit. I mean, I've been to a CrossFit gym, but I've never been put through a CrossFit workout.
Yeah. It seems like I'm a bodybuilder at heart. I think I always am going to be one. But like you said, I always respect the CrossFitters because there's something about like lifting these heavy weights that does something to you mentally and intrinsically. It gives you like that caveman sort of. Yeah. So although I've never done it and stuff, and I have my reasons, that I always admire it as well too. Yeah. And speaking of how you feel on the inside as well too, talk about how it's been able to help you like with sleep, mental focus at work, where you're working right now. I'm sure it takes at least a certain amount of patience with the kids as well too. So has that kind of translated into your personal life?
Absolutely. And so I work with students with special needs, and it does require some great deal of patience, and just staying active and working out. It does help with your sleep regimen, and it's so important. If you wake up groggy and you wake up cranky, that's just going to trickle into your day.
Right.
And it's, especially working with these kids, it's so easy for them to do something that just triggers you and gets you upset. But I mean, they can't help it,
Right.
So I've learned, just to be patient, and not even just with students with special needs. It's just be patient with people in general. I've really worked on just being a little bit more encouraging towards people, and just being just a voice to them, and just letting them know like you don't have it all that bad. I used to think I had it worse than everybody.
Yeah.
But there's so many people out there that have it so much worse.
Yeah.
It's really put a lot into perspective for me personally, and things that I used to just let bring me down and hold me captive. I almost am ashamed of the little things that you know.
In hindsight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hindsight's 20/20 for sure. So I don't know. I think, you know, anybody who's on the fence or wants to take that chance and try to go work out, like, don't feel discouraged, first of all.
Yeah.
It's never a bad thing to start working out.
Right.
And don't be ashamed or don't feel embarrassed to walk into a gym and feel like you don't belong. Like,
Dude, that's why I'm doing this, dude. Like, seriously.
no, everyone starts from somewhere.
Yeah.
So go into the gym with an open mind, look around, see people who are in great shape, and just understand that they started from somewhere too. You know, they had their first day in the gym at one point,
Yeah.
just like you. So just let it be a motivating factor.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could give any words of wisdom.
For sure, no, for sure, dude. And I think one of the things, going back to patience, I think one of the things I like about bodybuilding is that it's kind of like planting a tree. It's a seed that you plant, and you don't see the results right away. So like you said, when you go into the gym for the first time, it's like for the first couple of weeks, you might not feel any different except for just soreness.
Yeah.
You might look the same for a while.
Worse, yeah.
Yeah, but it's just something about just staying consistent through it all. And then, like I said earlier, you start to get those compliments. I remember the first compliment I got, dude, and I was like, yeah, man, like, it's working. It is super inspiring. So yeah, to your point, man, I think it's just very important to just keep going, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Keep going. And that's funny you say that, because I literally remember the first time I ever got a compliment. Like, I think I was a sophomore in high school, and I was sitting next to this girl in class, and this is gonna sound super corny and douchey, but she hit my chest, and she's like, "Oh, you're squishy," or something like that. And I flexed, and I was like, "Hit again." And she hit it, and then she felt how hard it was.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, I see you, Eric." And it's something that just stuck, you know.
God, dude, that's a great one, dude.
And so I don't know. It's just when you said you remember your first compliment, it just brought me back to that.
Yeah.
And so I've been so up and down since sophomore year in high school, and people are going to be up and down, but just keep going for sure.
Yeah.
This is probably
Yeah, and even if you don't see like the changes, or even if that's not your goal, I always like talking about the mental and the emotional aspects of working out as well too. So like this week, for example, had a super stressful week at work. It was just a stressful week at work, and I do occupational therapy. So it's just like when you deal with a lot of people on a regular basis, you gotta have something to give yourself like that outlet, whether it's reading, meditating, having a glass of wine. For me, it's working out primarily. And so just that therapeutic, just like you can just like spend 30 minutes at least on yourself, and just kind of get that pump. So at the end of each episode, and you kind of already did, but I like to have our guests share like one piece of advice that's kind of helped you along your journey. It can be a quote, it can be a saying, it can be a personal mantra, a movie that's inspired you. What's something that you can leave with our listeners, Eric?
I mean, I don't really have a quote. My thing is, if you're on the fence and you're kind of getting that itch to get into the gym or just make a change, just go for it, and don't just be half in, half out. Like, be all in. And understand that it's a process. Understand that 2 workouts you're not going to see any results. After 3 workouts you're not going to see any results. But just if you keep at it, things are just going to get better exponentially in your life. Your physical appearance is going to get better. Your health's going to get better. You're just going to be. I just feel like you're going to be more ambitious in general.
Yeah.
You're going to try new things. You're going to meet a whole ton of new people.
Yeah.
You know, you meet a community when you work out, and you're consistent. If you go to the same gym all the time, you'd be amazed how many people you'll meet. I have so many friends that I just see at the gym, but I call them my friends now.
Big
So
time.
a lot of good and positive things are going to come out of it. So just be patient with the process, and just don't quit, don't give up.
Good word of advice, man. I also like the fact at the very beginning how you said, you know, it builds that confidence as well too. And it's just, especially like maybe now more than ever, confidence is just so important to have because there's so many like peer pressure, societal pressures. There's so much comparison on social media and just media, and as a result, as a whole. And you know, to be able to feel good about yourself in the midst of all this noise going on, I think it's so important to just have that intrinsic peace that, yeah, I'm taking care of myself.
I agree.
I'm at a better place than I was yesterday, sort of thing. So, man, dude, at the end of each episode, I like to wrap it up with some rapid, quick fire questions to see how my guests think. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it, man. What's the first thing Eric thinks of when he wakes up?
Ooh, what's for breakfast?
What's for breakfast? I think you too. Would you rather be a master of every musical instrument or be fluent in every language?
Fluent in every language.
Would you rather be a deep sea diver or an astronaut?
Astronaut.
Why astronaut?
Just gotta see space, dude.
Yeah.
You gotta explore space.
Word, for real. Would you rather take a guaranteed $100,000 or a 50-50 shot at $1 million?
50-50 out of a million.
50-50 at $1 million.
Like a gamble.
You're a high roller, dude. That's cool. Tacos or pizza?
Pizza.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Breakfast or dinner?
Brenner.
Breakfast
for dinner.
Oh, you're one of those.
Yeah.
Dude, it's funny because I talk, Clarissa makes fun of me because I have this thing like psychologically that I can't eat eggs past noon for some reason. It just doesn't taste the same to me.
Brenner, I'm all about, dude. Give me a breakfast burrito at 6 p.m.
Really?
I'm pumped, yeah.
Hi, you're one of those, huh? Sweet. So Netflix or YouTube?
Netflix.
Netflix. Money or free time?
Free time.
Free time. Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
What did you want to be as a kid growing up?
In kindergarten, I said I wanted to be a cop.
I could see you as a cop, dude. All right. One famous person, dead or alive, you'd love to have dinner with.
Ooh, one famous person, dead or alive. Brett Favre.
Why Brett Favre? Interesting.
Packer fan. I got a Brett Favre backpack.
You are a Packers fan, man. You guys got that W yesterday,
we
too,
did.
man. Look at you guys.
1-0.
Sweet, man. Well, good luck this year. I don't think we play you guys.
I don't think so.
All right, last questions. If you can be any animal in the world, what would it be and why?
Probably a bald eagle.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one, dude. Bald eagles, I think they're still endangered, or no?
Probably.
Yeah, dude, they're super dope.
I think it's a huge, huge fine if you are poaching bald eagles.
Yeah, and they're so dope. I'm glad it's fine. Good for this. All right, dude. Well, hey, man, thanks for your time, dude. I appreciate it, man, and thanks for just kind of sharing, because I think a lot of people really need to hear what other people can do, or what other people have done when they go through hard times, depression, just difficulties, just life pretty much too. So thanks for sharing, man. I wish you nothing but the best of luck on your journey.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Sure, man.